On the Road with Kelly and Bob is brought to you by Mueller Metal Roofs and Buildings. Made in America, made to last. Coming up on this episode...
It's not what it's not what it used to be, but what it is now. Although we went through a lot, if you construct your life, you can go on and become whatever you want to be.
Hi, we're Kelly
and Bob Phillips, and we're on the perpetual road trip of America's back roads,
where the journey is always the destination. All right, we do lots and lots of stories, it seems to me, about artists.
That's not what this program is about. It's about everybody.
Yeah.
But we're attracted to artists because so many of them have...
They've got a message so many of the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's different kinds of artists. There's people who just do art for art's sake.
Because they're artistic.
Yeah. But then like you said, there are other artists out there, and those tend to be the ones that get to me.
Yeah.
Because
they've got meaning behind doing what they're doing.
It's like instead of writing a journal, they're painting or sculpting or just creating in some other way. Their message, they're trying to share a message with the world.
Yeah, and we went to Shreveport, and we met this lady who is telling her personal story.
Very personal. She grew up, folks, on a plantation in the 1900s,
mm-hmm.
if that tells you anything.
So she's telling her personal story through her art so it won't be forgotten.
I was born in Homer, Louisiana, Homer, and my father died when I was about 2 or 3. And my mother remarried, and we moved, about 5 or 6, I moved to Bossier City on what's called Beans Plantation, Beene. It's off Benton Road, and they had cotton, they were a farmer. It was a plantation. They had cotton, everything you could name, cotton, corn.
To hear Bertha Harris talk about her childhood, you would think she was a girl in Louisiana sometime in the mid-1800s.
Before the war between the states.
And about 100 people lived there. It was black people and also Latinos. Mm-hmm. And that's where I grew up until I was about 16. And I learned a lot about farm animals and cotton, because my mom, when I was young, I would have to go to the fields with her. So I know what work is from about 9 to 10. I've been working all my life.
But Bertha Harris, growing up on a Louisiana plantation, was almost 100 years later, in the mid-1900s. And if you think plantation life ended with the Civil War, think again.
The system kept going, but with changes. Changes that Bertha says didn't make things all that different for the people who worked there. It was still a form of slavery, she says, just with a twist.
So your mom basically worked on the plantation?
Yes, she did.
And then, of course, the children had to work too.
Yeah, everybody worked.
The spot in Bossier City that was once Bean Plantation sits empty now, with few reminders of the time of Bertha's childhood. But the land that at one time held a general store, a blacksmith shop, stables, and shanty houses surrounded by fields of cotton can still conjure up memories of the hardships that she and hundreds of others endured there.
It's something she learned from a friend named Clementine Hunter, something called art with heart.
I admire Miss Clementine Hunters. Something come up when I was looking at her work, and I said, I could do my family history, because I always wondered where we came from, how we did it, and I wanted to do a legacy for my kids, my grandkids, and when they grow up, at least they know something. I feel that kids are lost, because I know how I felt when I was small and coming up, no father, my father and stepfather moving here and there, and I didn't really get to know any, And I think these kids now, they don't know where they come from, they don't know, they haven't experienced pain, real loneliness, and they really don't, they lost, most of them.
When you look at Bertha Harris's art, you don't see depictions of the struggles she experienced during her childhood. There are no paintings of the abuse, the beatings, the suffering that went on day after day.
Instead, Bertha's art shows happier times, like when people gathered over a meal, baptisms in the nearby creek, farm animals, and children.
And while some may think that Bertha is just burying her head in the sand about her past, she says it's just the opposite. I want them to know, she says, but it's not what I want them to remember. And that, Bertha says, is called healing.
My mother, being a crafty lady, I learned a lot, how to make quilts, how to cook, and that helped me through life a lot. Just learning from her how to do things, how to sew, how to survive. If we didn't have this, we knew that we could fix this,
Has it helped you to be able to tell your story this way? Does it make you feel good about your life?
Well, it makes me feel if I got through that, I can get through this. It make you or break you.
How long do you think you'll paint your history?
Well, I'm slowing down kind of now, but I think I'll paint till I really don't know. I just think I just have some more stories to tell.
We still got a lot of work
Yes,
to do.
a lot of work to do.
Think we're ever going to get there, Bertha?
I hope so. I really do.
So do
I
I.
hope so.
Yeah.
Prayer, love. People ask, how you love? I say, I had to let the past go, all that hatred, all that off of my shoulders. Now I can love. I don't care what you do. I love you, but I don't like some of the things you do. Mm-hmm. That's how you get along. That's how I keep myself. That's how, I'm 85 years old.
I may not like you, but I'll always love you.
I always love you.
And while we were at Bertha's studio, we got her to describe some of her paintings.
That's called a baptism. And like I said, we would paint every fourth Sunday in August. They had what you call a service, revival, and baptism. They baptized.
Now, are they in a pond? Are they in a creek?
A creek, wherever water was, that deep enough to, to baptize. We got in the creek.
Were you baptized there?
Yeah, now, I was baptized right there on 70th Street. It used to be in that duck pond, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
What about this painting over here of this lady? Who is that and what's she doing?
That was, I would say my grandmother back when she was younger. She would walk to the, cotton field, and they picked cotton and put it in baskets. I would hear from her about that. They weren't like many cotton sacks. It was more baskets.
Mm-hmm.
That
I've seen those big, long cotton sacks that people do.
Yeah.
Like right there. You've got one of those right here in the gallery.
Yeah.
Does it take a certain amount of I guess, courage to be able to talk about your life like this through your work, through your paintings?
Yes, it does. I can talk now, but when I first started, it was kind of easing in doing it. But it was mostly my race that still don't like it too much.
Tell us about some of the people that collect your work. Why do you think they collect it? What does it do for them?
Well, a lot of them collect because they feel I have strength that they don't have. And they end up, call me or write me. I got letters, some of them, where they would say how much they admire me and that my book saved them. And,
How does that make you feel?
I feel good, and then I just say I helped someone. That's what my life is about. Not this is to make people feel bad that this happened, but I really want to feel good and go on.
And you can go and see Bertha Harris's art for yourself. Her studio is actually in her home.
But it's just fabulous because you can walk through, see her art and the different times in her life, and she will explain it and her experiences. It just talks to you.
She'll
while you're
tell
there.
you why she painted
Yes.
a particular and what the message
And
was behind
some of them
it.
are happy moments. Some of them,
Oh yeah,
not
a
so
lot of
happy.
it. A lot of it is happy moments. That's just the way she flows and like that. We want to say thank you to Mueller Metal Roofs and Buildings for sponsoring this show. Without them, this show would have never gotten off the ground. And they've got behind us, and they are the kings of the metal roof and building world, and we appreciate them very much.
Absolutely. And don't forget, you can listen to On the Road with Kelly and Bob just by downloading the free Odyssey app. You can listen anytime, anywhere.